family, it's Charmin. Welcome to Fixin' Tune. So here's what we're going to need for this first project. We're going to be using some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. We also have some different fabrics here. Not sure exactly which ones I'm going to be using, but I'll be choosing from that. Also some ribbon from the Dollar Tree and a couple of different type of scissors, as well as my hot glue gun. So let's get started. Now one of these packets of rope is 13 feet and it will make 2 of these bunnies that we're going to be making with just a little bit left over actually. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take one end of it and we're going to fold it over probably about an inch, half an inch to an inch, making sure that when we put the glue here, it sandwiches together, no holes there. You definitely want it as tight as you can get it. And of course you're gonna have to hold it for a little bit so that it sets and definitely holds together. Once you get that to where it is holding together, then we're going to start to roll it in on itself. And it's just real simple, just to fold over, put a little bit of glue, make sure that it sets, and then just keep rolling it. And from the middle we're going to count out, I think I do 7 times around, and that will create the face, I guess you could call it, or the head of the bunny that we're going to be doing. And you just keep, you know, wrapping it around, and like I said, from that center place we're going to count out and do 7 times around. And I'm going to do glue all the way around just so that we get a good hold and that it also doesn't slip out or come apart in any kind of way. Super simple to do. And of course you see as I'm wrapping it, I'll wrap a couple of times and then count just to make sure that I have the right number of times around. So we'll do this and get it completed. Once we've gotten it all the way around to where we want it, I'm going to cut it off, and I kind of cut it at a little bit of an angle, and then I'm going to go in with the hot glue and just kind of seal in the rope so it doesn't come untwisted. And I just kind of put a little bit and use the tip of the hot glue gun to smooth it out. Now that this is done, we are going to take our bunny head, and with the first one I did, I made it towards the top because I covered it with the ribbon at the top, kind of my girl bunny. This one I'm going to place the end of the rope at the bottom, kind of like I'm making my little boy bunny, because I'll have him a bow at the bottom. So now I'm going to take 2 9-inch pieces of rope. Now this is all still from one I guess one packet of the rope, and I cut off 2 9-inch pieces, and we're going to flip over, find the side that we want to use, flip it over, and then take our hot glue and attach our bunny ears. And I'm gluing it down probably about an inch from the edge of the head. And that makes it really good and secure in it, because to me the hot glue and this rope really works well together. So I'm going to do the same thing to the second ear, just getting it placed on there where it needs to go, putting a little bit of glue and on each side, and getting it put exactly where we want them, side by side. Now we're ready to choose which fabric we want for our little boy bunny, and I had this kind of a polka dotted fabric and of course buffalo check, And you guys know I love my buffalo check, and I'm also going to be using some buffalo check ribbon. So I decided to go with the buffalo check fabric, buffalo check ribbon, and then of course the lace ribbon. And easily you just lay it on to the bunny ear and kind of see about how wide you want it. And I just kind of use my scissors to cut about where I'm going to cut down. And of course on the other side as to how long it needs to be. And we're going to do 2 of those. So I basically cut it down, and then I'm going to go and cut it, fold it over, and cut it for the second one as well. Now we're easily just going to lay it on the back side of our bunny ear, and I'm going to run a pretty good bead of hot glue all the way around the ear, and then place the fabric on top of it so that it covers the entire opening of the ear, pushing it down, making sure that it's good and secured there. There's a little bit of excess there on it, but nothing, just kind of wipe it off and it will dry and look just fine. Once it sets, then we're just going to take, I'm using a pair of really sharp, thin scissors here, or fine point scissors I should say, and just trimming it down the ear all the way around until all you see is the fabric right inside the ear. Super easy to do. Once you get the big part off, I do go back and just kind of trim up anything that you can see around the edges. We're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other ear. Now this ear had just a little bitty kind of a real kind of a weird bend to it. So I peeled it off and pushed it in again just to make sure that it kind of set just right and it doesn't look so funny. So now we're ready to make our little bows for the bottom, and super easy just to create a little 2-looped bow, kind of like when you tie your shoe. Just make a bow with the burlap ribbon, not the burlap ribbon, this is buffalo check ribbon. Just make a little bow with the buffalo check ribbon, and of course I am going to go ahead and dovetail, even though it's little. We're going to go ahead and dovetail the ends, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my lace ribbon, and we're going to layer it, putting the lace ribbon on the bottom and then putting my little buffalo check right on top of it, making it the same way. And I made this one just a little bit bigger so that it can definitely be seen. And by putting it down here where we had cut our nautical rope, this little bow covers it up real nice. And I just love the way that these 2 turned out, and they are a great addition to tiered trays, just to little skate, I guess you could kind of say decorative skates that you have, and just adorable, absolutely adorable. Now guys, if this is the first time to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Consider sticking around and becoming a part of the Fixer family by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload new videos. Now I upload new videos every Friday, and I would hate for you guys to miss a single one. Also, by hitting the notification bell, you guys will also be notified when I upload to my community tab. I try to do that from time to time to give information. So guys, let's get back into the next project. So here's what we're going to be needing for the next 2 projects. For this second project of these 2, you're going to need some Mod Podge, but for both of them, we're going to be using these plastic Easter eggs that you can get from the Dollar Tree. Now these do not come open, these are solid plastic and they're white and I love it. We're going to be using some of that lace ribbon, some twine, and also we're going to be using these napkins, and I'll show you what we do in a moment. So for this project, we're going to be grabbing 2 or 3 of these eggs, and they are, like I said, they're plastic, but they're solid and they are white. We're going to also use our hot glue gun to put our ribbon on and the different things, and we're going to be making these super simple eggs, just a neutral decor, kind of giving it a little bit of a farmhouse look, and just really easy. You guys can take and make these eggs whatever you want them to look like. It is so simple, and just let your creativity fly. For this first egg, I just took a small piece of ribbon, wrapped it around and glued it to it. I'm going to take a small piece of this twine, put it around the bottom of that lace ribbon, and of course, you know, giving it a little trim. And then I'm taking another piece of twine and I'm making a little bow and putting it right on the front. Super easy, and turned out so delicate looking and very neutral, something that's easy to use in your decor. Now with this one, I'm going to take the ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around and give it, I guess I was thinking to do one thing and then I decided to do something different, and it wound up being the perfect size. So I cut my ribbon, not necessarily in half. It had a pattern on it and I just followed the pattern. So one is a little bit thicker than the other. And then I decided that I was going to wrap these long ways on the egg. Just wrapping, and that's all I did. Super simple, super cute. I loved the way this one turned out. And it really made that egg look a little longer than it actually was. I don't know, it just was really cute. With the next egg, I'm gonna tell you, I had no rhyme or reason for this one. I just took the twine, glued down one end of it, and just wrapped it around, just very non-pattern like, and made it look kind of a rustic look. And then I took a piece of lace and glued it right on top in the center of it. And that's all I did with that one. Those are 3 ideas right there. But guys, let your creative juices flow and create these fun eggs. Now this last project is kind of something that has been done for many years, but it's still timeless, and that is what we call Decopodge. And you use your Mod Podge and something decorative to create a beautiful decor piece. And with this, we're going to use the eggs. Now, of course, with the napkins, guys, y'all can find all kinds of napkins out there with different patterns and things. And with this particular, it was a 2-ply napkin, and we wanted to separate it and get it as thin as we can, because you want the Mod Podge to really begin to penetrate the napkin so that it holds and dries really well. And I just was kind of going through, cutting out these flowers and patterns that were on the flowers and creating some smaller pieces. You don't want large pieces because you'll have a lot of folding in it, and you don't really want that. A little bit is fine, so you want to kind of have some small pieces. And then, of course, your egg. So now that we've got those created, we're just going to take a little bit of Mod Podge, and I'm going to start at the top of the egg here, one end of it, putting a little bit to hold it, sticking a small piece down, and then just begin to paint the Mod Podge over the top of it. Now for me, I used matte finish Mod Podge. You can use whichever one you want, the gloss or the matte, it's up to you. But then I just painted it on and then just began to fill in with the different pieces, the different flowers, and it does get a bit messy. I kept a wet wipe beside me here, and you have to be super careful because it can begin to stick to your fingers and pull that paper off. So take your time. I know I've sped it up here, but take your time placing your flowers wherever you want to on there and just covering the entire egg. And guys, I love the way they turned out. So beautiful for spring and for Easter, and really the sky's the limit with these because you can use all kinds of thin paper or napkins. And what we're going to do is let them dry, and this is what they look like. Beautiful. I'm so glad that you guys joined me today, and I hope that you enjoyed each one of these projects that I have for you today. And also, if no one has told you today, you are amazing. And always remember to keep looking up, because that's where it all is. I'll see you on the next video.